Hello, good evening and welcome to News 360 from the News Hub at Adesawe Kanda. I am Portia Gabo.
And I am Issa Morning. We have the headlines for tonight coming up in a moment. Reduction in benchmark values for import yet to reflect on the price of goods on the market.
And also tonight, we'll tell you about the ordeal of people seeking organ transplant in Ghana.
In Mission, the story of Mawini Anasuga Jonah, who needs support to undergo medical care and further his education, will be on.
Coming up in international news, Nigerian President Buhari condemns killing of 37 people by bandits in northwestern state of Sokoto.
Those were the details, and those were the headlines, and we have the details coming up in the moment. Stay with us, and we begin with the chairman of the African Cybersecurity and Digital Rights Organization, Major General Francis Edu Amanfo, retired, has condemned the frequent shutdown of mass media in Africa. The former intelligence officer was speaking at the second Civil Society Cybersecurity Workshop in Accra.
Record shows 21 internet shutdowns across Africa in 2018. The first 3 weeks of this year witnessed shutdown in 5 countries. According to analyst Robert Bestlin of risk assessment firm Ex-Africa, the situation may be getting worse. Cameroon, Zimbabwe, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Sudan and Gabon are the countries noted for shutting down the internet. These shutdown, experts and rights groups say, were politically motivated and a violation of the flow of information.
Censorship in the African continent does not send the right signals for the future. Citizens' rights in cyberspace must be entrenched in cybersecurity strategies, and a due process must be used in any shutdowns.
Ghana recently shut down a number of radio stations in parts of the country, insisting they violated procedural mandates. Ghana's ambassador to Mali and the chairman of the Africa Cybersecurity and Digital Rights Organization, ACDRO, Major General Francis Edu Amanfo, retired, insisted such unilateral decisions were wrong.
I mean, if it becomes necessary to shut down any radio station or any cybersecurity outfit, due processes must be pursued. Even when these are incorporated in the strategy, there is also the need to ensure continuous engagement between state actors and civil society organizations to ensure full implementation.
The cybersecurity workshop focused on awareness creation among civil society groups.
Given the virtual nature and interconnectedness of the cyber world, the security of the cyber world would require different approach from the approach in which we approach our physical security.
Other speakers want government to provide advanced technological platforms to enable the academia develop homegrown solutions to local problems. The workshop was on the theme, making our national cybersecurity policy and strategy citizen-centric.
The reduction of the benchmark values for imports is yet to reflect on the price of goods on the market. 3 months after its implementation, importers affirm cost of clearing goods at the ports has gone down, but traders say they expect the cedi to be stabilized to enable them reduce the price of goods. A report by Josephine Frimpong.
Benchmark delivery values of imports will be reduced by 50%. However, for vehicles, the reduction will be 30%.
The port reform is expected to promote compliance, boost trade, and increase revenue. The Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, says the reduction has impacted positively on business.
For now, I can actually say that we have general reduction between 15% to 25%, depending on the item in question.
The news team followed up to the car ports to ascertain the situation.
Benz bus, sprinter, ambulance. Because of Baumia discount, you know their mind benchmark no. It 34,560 instead of 40,400.
I am a car dealer. I recently cleared a Benz bus sprinter, and the duty was 3,560 cedis instead of 4,400 cedis. I got a discount through the benchmark. I have also cleared a Kia Picanto and paid 7,761 Ghana cedis instead of 9,000 cedis previously.
And me car, but you say no, today what is all right.
I cleared some vehicles yesterday. Truly, it has reduced, but because of the dollar rate, nothing has changed.
Duty nankasane de eswati.
The reduction is super, but it hasn't addressed our major problem, especially with the rising CD. We sometimes get buyers accusing us for not reducing the prices.
Customers buy so
At the Central Business District in Accra, some traders shared their views.
I just cleared items for my ceramic shop and paid 8,000 cedis for a 20-footer container, which was a huge reduction. But the dollar is still high.
The price in there first duty nanka 33,000 Ghana cedis for government duty no.
We used to pay 33,000 cedis for used clothing for a 20-footer container, but now we are paying 26,000 cedis. I have now reduced the price of a bale of used clothing for children from 1,800 cedis to 1,700 cedis.
Imported goods fall under the benchmark evaluation except exempted goods by government and other agencies. Vehicle spare parts imports, however, do not attract the benchmark values, but dealers are pushing for it. Figures of cargo throughput between April and June recorded an increase. Statistics from the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority cargo traffic for April and May shows as follows. The Customs Technical Service Bureau of the Ghana Revenue Authority is responsible for giving out the values. A total of 600 customs clarification and valuation reports, CCVRs, are recorded daily, translating into 18,600 CCVRs in a month. But for customs, it has currently resulted in revenue shortfall.
You do an impact analysis based on last year's figures and then this year's figures. If you are using the fact that 50% and 30% on vehicles, 50% on goods, if you calculate the impact, there's about a shortfall of about 3 billion. Now, if we are able to increase the volumes up to 60-70%, increase efficiency in collection, we can compensate for that loss.
The Finance Minister, Ken Oforiatta, in a recent interview at the Tema Port, affirmed its full impact is yet to be felt.
Sort of an effect in the short term, but we are pretty confident that what we have done, the beginning of MPS, which will be soon, which will create sort of the deepest berth literally between here and Cape Town, we are going to see a change in shipping lines network, which will lead to much more business here.
Business and maritime analysts say we are reaping the full benefits of this reform because signs are showing that we are getting volumes of trade gradually in the second and third quarters of this year. Despite the positive impact of the reduction in the benchmark values, Stakeholders expect government to stabilize the cedi to enable them achieve its full benefit. Josephine Frimpong, TV3 News, Accra.
And now, infrastructural challenges, one of the main difficulties bedeviling the Amejope Technical Institute in the Volta region. The school also lacks tools for practicals, thereby causing teachers to rent tools or ask students to buy same. Here is Wendy Lai's report.
The Amejope Technical Institute started as a community school in 1992 and was later absorbed by government in 2010. At the time of our visit, the total student population was 243. 40 final year students had since completed school. The institute has 7 departments including building construction, wood construction, automobile and fashion designing. An old middle school building built by German missionaries in 1921 houses the administrative block and the computer laboratory. Another structure was put up by the Amejope Development Association to support the school. The school's wood workshop serves as a garage for the school's bus. Currently, the school has 11 classrooms, which includes 9 temporal structures. 11 classes have been moved to a workshop currently under construction, which has been converted into a 4-unit classroom block. The Amejope Technical Institute needs 12 classrooms to support teaching and learning. The school's library leaks badly when it rains. Due to lack of shelves at the school's library, some books are packed in boxes. Assemblyman of Amejope, Robert Elikem Ame, wants urgent steps to be taken to resolve the challenges facing the school.
Coming of the new government, the free SHS has helped the school to increase in numbers. The school was given a boarding status. It was regrettable that in 2018 we lost that status with the idea that there are critical facilities that are not available in the school. So we're appealing to the government to come to our aid by providing us with the needs of the school.
The community renovated part of a building which was later converted into a hostel for first-year students. The school has a population of 93 day students, but 78 of them are in the hostel while the rest live close by. Students residing in the hostel and the dormitory have to use makeshift bathrooms. The school has no water closets. Pit latrines are used by both teachers and students. Dining is conducted on a shift basis due to the size of the hall, which is also not fenced.
The juniors will come first and they'll spend 15 minutes at the hall, and the next 15 minutes the seniors also come.
We are trying to construct a larger dining hall for them, and even toilet facilities too. We are trying to do something about it. We went to the Minister of Education and then cried out for them to help us. Since then, they will come back and tell us very good stories, but the stories are never put into reality till today.
The Amejope Technical Institute has no teachers' bungalow. The community is working to connect pipes to the school. A 4-bedroom structure funded by a philanthropist from the community with ancillary facilities is yet to be completed. The building will serve as a dormitory for incoming first-year students in September this year. Meanwhile, the road leading to Amejope, where the school is located, is in a deplorable state. On June 11, 2019, on this very stretch, students from the Amejope Technical Institute were returning from an inter-school sporting activity, and the driver of the only bus of the school got up there to that point and lost control of the vehicle. Now, the bus ended up in this valley. We're told that 38 students plus the bus driver and a teacher suffered minor injuries as a result of this accident.
We made passionate appeal to the government through our district assemblies. They always give us vain promises which never came to reality.
We followed up to the community health center and met students who were also in the bus when the incident happened.
Still in the Volta region, teachers and junior high school students at Amfuega Jigbe EP Junior High School have no hope of receiving any attention from the North Dai District Education on their deplorable school building. Well, Joseph Armstrong reports the North Dai District Director of Education believes her office is more deplorable compared to the school.
Amfuega Jigbe Evangelical Presbyterian Junior High School in the North Dai district of the Volta region was established in 1930 by the Germans. The school was in December last year gutted by fire. After the fire, students were forced to move into an uncompleted 3-classroom block. The structure is half-roofed with some rusted roof hanging. Classrooms are in poor shape. The corroded roof leaked badly. More worrying is the poor visibility in all the classrooms students sit in during class hours. Students now study in the open. The school has no staff common room for teachers. A shade serves as classroom, a staff common room and a canteen for both teachers and students. This is where the headmaster uses as his office. Headmaster of the school, Jeffrey Duncan Amego, is obviously not happy.
The current state of the school is not the best. The classroom, as you can see, is without doors and windows. So after school, stray animals also take over the school block. And they also attend school. The staff common room is without roof, doors, and windows. So teachers have to sit under the trees, including myself.
Some teachers and students also shared their frustration.
Most times the classrooms are dark, making visibility difficult.
Lack of furnitures and the roofing sheets too are not good. When there is rain, the classroom will fill with water and there are some potholes in the classroom.
We followed up to the North Dai District Education Directorate for answers. This became another subject of discussion as the District Education Director, Benedicta Abra Akache, was more worried about her office also being in need.
We've written letters, the DC, all the stakeholders, they know about our plight. Where we are sitting now, this is the director's office. We have washroom, which we are using as our record room.
Some staff at the education office says they will soon embark on a sit-down strike if the Ghana Education Service does not come to their aid. If Ghana is to achieve the UN SDG 4, which is to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all, effort must be to improve on education infrastructure at all levels. Joseph Armstrong Gold, TV3 News, Amfuega, North Dai District.
Now, organ donation and transplant in Ghana is not regulated. This has made it difficult for people to donate for the needy to get access to an organ transplant. Adjoadu Biowusu has been speaking with a man who donated his kidney to his son in India.
An aspect of healthcare, organ donation, which has been a grey area for years, is gradually becoming a topic of interest in Ghana. Organ donation is a process where an organ is removed from one person and surgically placed in another. The kidney, liver, pancreas, heart and tissues are some of the body organs that can be donated for transplants. Organ donation is complicated in Ghana as families even find it difficult to donate to their loved ones. There are, however, no laws guiding the practice. Meet Thomas Khan, a kidney patient who has been visiting the dialysis unit of the Cape Coast Teaching Hospital for more than 6 years with the hope of getting a donor.
I've made about 3 attempts to have the transplant done, and I had a couple of people who were willing to be my donors, and all 3 occasions failed. We had agreed and they were willing to do it, Unfortunately, I remember the first instance, he came with all the necessary tests. Later, he was like, oh, okay, I should give him some time. The next minute, he had gone to have some conversation with some friends and family, and then they all gave some misconception to the whole process.
An average of 12,000 kidney failure cases are detected among Ghanaian patients every year, with about 700 of such patients on dialysis. Kidney disease is the 9th leading cause of death worldwide now. Reverend Obin donated a kidney for his second-born because he could not afford to let him die. For fear of being discouraged by people, his son's transplants became a secret.
India, transplant is not a big news like in Ghana here. Oh, coming for transplant, and to them it doesn't sound. When we got the hospital, I thought, hey, transplant, that kind of people will be giving special attention and be panicking. It was just normal. And you meet people there who are ready to tell you, I just came to donate. I transplant for this person, I'm coming for checkup. So it was a normal thing in India. It's not as people see it. And I want to encourage as many as could help their family members. You know, if they can donate. If you don't have an example, at least look at me.
In Ghana, the cases of chronic kidney disease keeps rising with people as young as 10 years on dialysis machine. Dr. Wu speaks about the success stories and the failures of transplants in Ghana.
The idea of transplant is actually to give you a new lease in life. Of course, there is no 100% probability that every transplant is going to go well. There are people who have transplant and still reject the new organ or tissue that they are given. There are people who have transplant and because of the medication they are on for a significant part of the rest of their life, just to make sure that they do not reject those organs if they are not able to afford them or they are not taking them appropriately. Or if they go back to lifestyle issues that brought them to that situation, they may still end up losing that or not lasting for long enough. But usually when these transplants are uneventful during the surgery and then after the surgery, shortly after the surgery, which are usually the critical times, basically most of them will live quite normal life.
The Kolebu Teaching Hospital started kidney transplant in 2015, but its sustainability remains an issue. Dr. O led a team to ensure the sustainability of the transplant projects.
We put together a national team that was drawn from different hospitals, including those who already had experience in transplantation, like our team, and then other hospitals, after assessing doing a needs assessment of what it would take to basically spread out this program in the different hospitals.
He believes a legal framework should be put in place.
It is important to have a guiding bill with legal backing to guide what we do, both in the public and private sector, both as teams and as individuals, and therefore make sure that we ensure that organ transplantation comes to help the life of people who are needing it and doesn't become rather an albatross on our neck.
The effect of selling one's kidney without a proper law guiding it has also been a major concern. The more reason it is important for the bill to be passed to ensure a proper system is put in place in Ghana to save lives.
You're watching News 360. We have more news coming up shortly. Do stay with us.
Let's do some more stories now. A philanthropist, John Akude, has come to the aid of Michael Asem, the physically challenged man who has crawled on his stomach for 52 years. This is after TV3 aired the plight of the disabled man, a tailor at Sizakope in the Sege district of the Greater Accra region, who still cannot fend for
The physically challenged man, perched in a single room at Caesar Kope in the Sege district, was born with an inactive legs. The only child to his parents is also a gifted tailor who never had any formal training. Michael wants support to rent a new place and build a shop stocked with sewing machines which will help him to expand his business. 2 weeks after the report, help has come to Michael Assem and his family. On his improvised floor, which doubles as his cutting table for sewing, Michael received us full of smiles.
A token from my heart to you. Just to show you that nobody has abandoned you. We all love and care for you. So.
The philanthropist John Agude, through TV3's 3 Foundation, came to Michael's aid. He also made donations of drinks, provisions, a bag of rice, and a cash amount of 1,000 cedis.
I thank TV3 for the big support that they give me. Mr. John Agude, I thank you very much for your support. And may God bless you and give you a long life.
I was thinking, whom am I going to celebrate my birthday with, aside my wife and kids and family, on the 16th of June. I was just listening to TV3 News and the story came up, Mr. Assem's story came up, and then it just hits me that yes, he's the right person I have to celebrate my birthday with.
Michael's wife Letitia was also grateful for the gesture.
Mede asida kese be ma enjo Nyankopon. Asida eto so mienu no mede be ma John Agude.
I will first thank God. The second one goes to Mr. John Agude. It was God who touched his heart. We wouldn't have had this support. I also thank TV3 for telling our story.
Asansu mi da sidan so ematibri 3 station no. Se nyo mu a aka no so enhu ne ekoso ene ne eba. Enti mi da sidan so ma omo so bebre.
He says the gesture has lifted his spirit and his drive to still make it in life.
As at now, what I need again is something to extend my job. I have to get sewing machines, my workshop. If I get that one, then finish. I can do something small.
TV3 will continue to monitor the progress of Michael Assem and bring updates to viewers. Josephine Frimpong, TV3 News, Caesar Kope, Sege.
TV3 indeed gets results. You're still watching News 360. We have more news coming up shortly. Do stay with us. Mission is supported by the Star Ghana Foundation with thanks to Danida, UK Aid and the EU. He's smart, talented and very creative. Although he's unable to use his hands effectively, he has braved the odds and tops his class despite his disability. Mission brings to you the story of Jonah Mawuni Anashuga, who is in dire need of support. Today, Mission is at Suswanho RC Primary and Kindergarten School in the Dwayam Kwanta municipality of the Ahafo region. We're here to meet a special boy who, despite his disability, has braved the odds to join his colleagues in class. Well, he needs a little support to become someone in future.
Yes, I was born like this. Before I was sent to school, people, everybody who will see me just look at me that I don't come out to go with them or play with children, just like that. So I was at home every time doing artwork and modeling and many things.
When we first met Jonah, he was writing his end-of-term exams at the Sosuaho RC Primary and Kindergarten School. He's unable to use his hands effectively, but slowly he strived to support himself over the years by using both hands, though slowly, to write. But he was almost denied his right to education.
I didn't start school early because my father knows that I can't even go to school because of my conditions.
Yeah, I want to form crime for say, me coming to me, now I'm still media diamawa. Ube to me, Tama me won no, so back school cry na me fair same didn't we peer mountain. Because for yes, I know, or quite be a sure say I know or you'll be a mobile, never more serene. Until me person go on to fear. And me doffo be frame, semi ferry, me fan school. Or started school no. And Chabia na womu, yes or here, or chan come.
Thanks to inclusive education, Jonah has joined regular pupils in class who support him in everything he does. By dint of hard work, Jonah is topping his class.
And he's also good academic both, even all field. He cannot move all the hands and the legs. For right now, as we are talking, he cannot even walk a distance of 10 meters without sitting.
We are trying to get means of helping him because the mind is actually excellent. You could see that in the school, he's the best student. The mind is excellent, but the future, when you leave him alone to go or stay as a family member, what can he do for himself? The help he's needing, first one is like we need experts outside to help him. Our environment that we are, we don't know what else to do. So we need experts to come to his aid.
The assembly has such a system in place. And we do help the disabled people in the municipality. Not long ago, we distributed items to the disabled children. Especially Jonas is one of those that we distributed the items to.
Due to his disability, Jonah's family had to relocate from the north to Dry and Kwanta in the Ahafo region to seek medical care for him. Jonah's father is a farmer and not financially stable to support his son, but he's benefited from the 3% District Assembly Common Fund for persons with disability for his son. He got 3 sheep and hopes to sell them to support his son's education. Jonah is also very creative. He currently needs support to undergo treatment as well as to further his education.
Someone could help me to undergo a surgery. I'll be happy because of the distance between our house and this school. It seemed to be too far. So if they can help me to undergo my surgery so that I will be well and can do that, I will be happy.
Akrani sisi ya wanante kwa skuma. Watishu ya uhuwa ubesu. Wentimi nante. Crutches we, we be crab ena car born. Anyway, you see crutches no, ena a koye. Anyway, the sack crutches na yading. Aman see one fine and kakrakra.
Jonah had a message for parents of children with disability.
I want to tell them to never give up about this. They have to look after them. They have to look for, take care of them and do what they like. One day I hope God will bless them and give them something that they like or anything they are praying for.
Porshigabo, TV3 News, Suswahu, Ahafo Region. Mission is supported by Star Ghana Foundation with thanks to Danida, UK Aid and the EU.
Right, time now to look at Tilapia, the cartoonist with marvelous skills and what he has captured over the past 1 week. Right, for more on tilapia, visit our website, 3news.com. Also for news updates, breaking news, and some international news. For now, I am Isa Moni.
I am Portia Gabo. Enjoy the rest of our programs. Good evening.